Today we're taking a closer look at 17 of the biggest restaurant chains in America that are facing serious challenges in 2026. These are the names you've seen on every highway exit, in every shopping center, and maybe even in your own neighborhood. But now, many of them are struggling to keep their doors open, and some are even shutting down locations at a rapid pace. Whether it's due to changing consumer tastes, rising food and labor costs, or the relentless pressure from new competitors, these chains are feeling the heat like never before. In 2026, we're seeing more closures and empty dining rooms than ever, as even the most established brands fight to survive. But these aren't just faceless businesses. These are places where we've celebrated birthdays, gathered for family dinners, and satisfied late-night cravings with friends. They're woven into our memories and our communities, making their struggles feel personal for so many of us. Even industry legends, the brands we thought would last forever, can stumble in the brutal, ever-changing world of restaurants. No one is immune to the challenges of this industry, no matter how iconic their name. With shifting dining habits, skyrocketing costs, and fierce competition from both local spots and delivery apps, even the most familiar restaurants are facing some of the toughest times in their history. The landscape is changing fast, and not everyone is keeping up. Before you head out for your next meal, take a moment to let us know in the comments if your favorite spot made our list, or if you've noticed changes in your local restaurants. Your stories and memories matter, and we want to hear them. So, sharpen those knives and get ready, because we're about to reveal the 17 big restaurant chains that are struggling the most in 2026. Let's dive in and see which familiar names are fighting to survive. Red Lobster, once the king of endless shrimp and a staple of American dining, was a place where families celebrated birthdays, friends gathered for weekend dinners, and seafood lovers indulged in baskets of Cheddar Bay biscuits. For decades, its iconic red sign was a beacon for those craving a taste of the sea no matter how far from the coast they lived. But now, this beloved chain is fighting to stay afloat, struggling to keep its doors open as the tides of fortune turn against it. In 2026, a wave of closures swept across the country, hitting Red Lobster especially hard. Locations that once bustled with laughter and the clatter of plates now sit empty, their windows dark and their signs faded. Financial struggles, rising costs, and shifting consumer tastes have battered their bottom line, leaving the company scrambling for solutions in a rapidly changing restaurant landscape. Even their famous promotions, like endless shrimp nights and tempting seafood feasts, couldn't lure enough customers back to fill the seats or revive the brand's former glory. For many, Red Lobster was more than just a place to eat. It was a gathering spot, a backdrop for memories, and a symbol of affordable indulgence. Its decline feels personal to loyal patrons who grew up with its flavors and traditions. Now, with fewer locations and mounting uncertainty, Red Lobster's struggle serves as a stark reminder that even the biggest names in dining aren't invincible. The future of this once mighty chain hangs in the balance, leaving communities to wonder what will fill the void left behind. Applebee's has long called itself the neighborhood grill and bar, but in 2026, it's more like the neighborhood ghost. Sales have been declining, and the chain's shuttered hundreds of locations. Too much competition, not enough innovation. Applebee's menu feels stuck in the past. Even loyal customers are drifting away, looking for something new. The decline isn't just about food, it's the end of an era for many communities. There was a time when TGI Fridays was the go-to spot for celebrations of all kinds, birthday shots, endless appetizers, and that unmistakable, infectious energy that filled the air. Friends and families would gather around tables, laughter echoing over the clinking of glasses, and every visit felt like a special occasion. The restaurant was more than just a place to eat. It was a destination for making memories, a symbol of good times and togetherness. But now, things have changed. The once bustling dining rooms sit empty, the lively bar now silent, and the party atmosphere that defined Fridays has faded away. Across the country, dramatic reductions in locations have left many communities without their local Fridays, as more and more restaurants close their doors for good. Diners today crave unique flavors, healthier options, and fresh experiences. Newer restaurants offer vibrant menus and creative dishes that reflect changing tastes and lifestyles. But Friday's predictable menu and dated decor haven't kept up with the times, leaving many guests searching for something more exciting and relevant. Even recent attempts to modernize the look and update the menu haven't been enough to bring back the crowds or recapture the magic that once made Fridays special. For many, each closure feels like losing an old friend, a place where milestones were celebrated and memories were made. Now just a bittersweet memory. Those iconic red and white stripes, once a beacon of fun and celebration, are slowly fading from the American landscape, marking the end of an era for TGI Fridays. Ruby Tuesday once promised a casual escape with garden-fresh salad bars and juicy burgers, but lately the only thing fresh is the bankruptcy paperwork. The chain's filed for bankruptcy, and locations are vanishing fast. Attempts to reinvent haven't taken root, and even loyal diners are left wondering what went wrong. If you don't evolve, you get left behind. Boston Market was once the go-to spot for rotisserie chicken and classic sides, but in 2026 the ovens are cooling down as store closures stack up. Increased competition from fast casual upstarts and meal kits has hit hard. Customers want convenience and innovation, but the menu has barely changed. Even loyal diners are drifting away, searching for quicker and healthier options. Now, empty dining rooms and boarded-up windows tell a different story. Sparrow and malls, once a match made in food court heaven, but with malls on the decline, Sparrow's struggling to survive. The pizza chain has closed hundreds of locations, clinging on in fewer food courts. Competition for quick quality pizza is tougher than ever, and Sparrow's formula just doesn't cut it. Attempts to pivot to standalone stores haven't recaptured the magic. When the environment changes, you've got to adapt, or disappear. Steak 'n Shake built its reputation on classic diner fare, burgers, fries, and those incredible milkshakes, but franchise issues and poor management have led to mass closures. The company's tried everything: restructuring, new ownership, even counter service. But it hasn't been enough. Franchisees are frustrated, customers are confused, and the brand is struggling to find its footing. Unless they turn things around, more closures are on the horizon. Subway was once the king of quick, customizable meals, but overexpansion and unhappy franchisees have turned the tide, with profits plummeting. Customer trust took a hit with controversies over ingredients and quality. Meanwhile, fresher, trendier competitors are stealing the spotlight. The brand's attempts to rebrand haven't been enough to stop the bleeding. If you still grab a footlong for lunch, you might have to look a little harder in 2026. Pizza Hut was once the place for family dinners in those iconic red-roofed restaurants, but the times have changed, and dine-in locations are closing rapidly. Delivery is booming, but those classic dine-in experiences are disappearing. Pizza Hut is adapting, but loyal customers miss the old days of pan pizzas and checkerboard tablecloths. The brand is shifting to survive, but something special is being lost. Friendly's was once the go-to for ice cream sundaes and big, cheesy melts, but bankruptcy and a shrinking footprint have turned a family favorite into a rare sight. Attempts to modernize haven't really stuck, and more locations disappear every year. For many, Friendly's closures are more than just lost meals. They're lost memories. It's a sign of how fast the industry can change. Hooters made its name with wings, sports, and a certain brand of service, but changing demographics and shifting attitudes mean fewer people are flocking to those orange shorts. The chain has been quietly closing locations, especially where it no longer fits the vibe. Younger diners want something different, and the old formula just doesn't cut it. Hooters is trying new concepts, but the road ahead is anything but certain. Quiznos burst onto the scene with toasted subs and bold flavors, but now it's a shadow of its former self. Fierce competition from sandwich giants and local shops has crowded them out. Years of financial woes and dwindling brand recognition have left the chain with a fraction of its old footprint. The sandwich game is brutal, and Quiznos is struggling just to stay in it. Marie Callender's was once famed for its homey meals and signature pies, but bankruptcy filings and endless store closures have turned the chain into a rare find. Rising costs and changing tastes have made it tough to keep the doors open. Each closure leaves a community without a beloved comfort food destination. The pie may be sweet, but the reality is anything but. Perkins has been serving up pancakes, pies, and bottomless coffee for decades, but financial woes and changing breakfast habits have forced the chain to close dozens of locations. The all-day breakfast game is crowded, and Perkins has struggled to stand out. Bankruptcy filings and management shakeups haven't helped. For communities that counted on Perkins, these closures are a real loss. IHOP, International House of Pancakes, seemed untouchable, but even the Pancake King has underperforming stores and closures on the books. With the breakfast market crowded, IHOP's facing stiff competition from both fast casual upstarts and old rivals. Rising rent costs and changing eating habits have played a role. IHOP is fighting to stay relevant, but the battle is tougher than ever. Outback Steakhouse brought a taste of Australia to America, but now, market challenges are putting the squeeze on this steakhouse favorite. Rising costs and shifting consumer preferences have led to a wave of store closures. Diners are looking for healthier options, and Outback's formula is feeling tired. Even the Bloomin' Onion can't save every location. Buffalo Wild Wings made its name as the ultimate sports bar, with wings beer and wall-to-wall screens. But in 2026, competition is fiercer than ever, and sales are starting to slump. The rise of local sports bars and fast-casual wing joints is cutting into their territory. The fight to stay on top is just beginning. Thanks for sticking with us through the list. We've covered some of the biggest names in casual dining, and as we've seen, no chain is too big to fail. For every closure, there's a lesson in innovation and adaptation. Did we miss any chains you think are in trouble? Let us know below. Until next time.